Oh,
Hi.
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 Great to meet you, Brad. Hi, Gwyneth.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Well,
Doing
thank you
well.
so much for joining us.
Oh, our pleasure.
Can you
Oh,
hear us well?
yes.
Very well.
Still celebrating your birthday, Gwyneth?
Always.
Oh.
Every day.
How did you celebrate, if you don't mind me asking?
It was actually my birthday this year took a back seat to my brother's because we're one day apart. He's the day before me and he turned 50. So it was all about my brother.
Oh,
Hear
wow.
you. Yeah, I've
Excellent.
got that dynamic as well. I'm 7th of July, my sister's the 8th, but 2 years apart. And I celebrated my
Interesting.
40th this year. So, well,
Oh,
yeah.
happy birthday and congratulations.
Yep. It gets interesting after 40, I think.
It
That's when
does.
that's when it
Oh,
gets
I'm
good.
noticing that. I am.
Any hope for 46-year-olds?
Yeah, you're already in it though. You're in the best part. You're in
Exactly.
the,
Yeah.
like you know who you are, you feel good, your body's still good, you're settling into yourself. It's like it's very exciting. Then it just keeps getting better though. I imagine eventually your body starts to betray you a little bit. But for you got another 20 years of that before that.
Got it. I'll take that.
Thank you
I'll
so
take
much.
that. So, from our Buff headquarters in London, we welcome you to a very important conversation as Buff celebrates its 20th anniversary. We are shining a spotlight on films that challenge, inspire, and heal. And few films do that, quite like Scapegoat.
Hmm.
The film makes its London premiere right here at Bath on Wednesday, the 22nd of October, and it explores transformation, resilience, and identity through the energy of the skateboarding culture.
Leandre Sanders.
Day in the life.
Day in the life.
What you represent.
Purpose of skateboarding.
Me and my family are complicated. My dad started punching my mom in the face. Some game was striking. My older brother choked on my dad. I was only 7 years old. Everything just turned upside down. At times, I didn't know where to go. You see it all. Life was tough, but still had skating and my friends.
Before we even realized it, we were calling each other brothers.
We're family, no matter what.
I chose skateboarding, or did skateboarding choose me?
He's got it. I mean, he's amazing. He's like top of the line skater.
No one has that ability on a skateboard.
I learned that they call you the man with no stance.
That open stance, like that is beautiful.
Keep doing what you're doing, have that future. Stay into your skateboarder. Don't let nothing distract you.
It's hard to be the person I want to be. I'm going to keep pushing and see how far this goes.
And we are delighted to say that we're joined now by two of the film's co-executive producers, Academy Award winner Gwyneth Paltrow and Emmy Award-winning producer Brad Falchuk, to talk about why Scapegoat matters right now and how storytelling and wellness continue to evolve together. Gwyneth and Brad, welcome to Bath.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Thank you so much. That intro made me emotional hearing you talk about Skategoat.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, look, let's get into the conversation. Now that Buff has spent 20 years championing underrepresented voices in film, why is it important for globally recognized names like yourself to support independent storytellers?
You want to go first?
No, you go. You're the more globally recognized name. I'm a more nationally recognized name, man.
No rows, please. No rows.
We're having
We never fight.
it's a domestic on TV.
I know. Tell me about it.
Um, Look, I think we're living in, at least in America, really strange times in terms of backward slide. We for a long time, I think we were a society that was progressing and with the very open and self-aware knowledge that we needed to be a more inclusive culture. And we've had this terrible backslide here in the past year or so, I want to say. And so it's incredibly heartbreaking to both Brad and myself. And look, we think that a way to always change hearts and minds is through art. Nothing, you can sort of try to argue your position with somebody else, but when you see an beautiful or uplifting story or resonant story that features somebody that doesn't look like him, it's very powerful, and you can really change hearts and minds that way.
Yeah, I think that's the core of it is that I I don't think most people are bad, but a lot of people are ignorant, and the only way to reach ignorance is actually with compassion. And so the best way to create compassion is through a movie. I
Yeah.
really think that's true, is that people can watch a movie and be totally moved, and it's almost a safe, dangerous way to get to know a person, a people, a culture. And so this is always has been and always will be through stories and through movies going to be the most valuable and easiest way to get to people where they don't have to feel bad about changing their minds.
Love that. Wow. Wow. Now, I watched the film as one of the film juror, and what came through as a viewer for me, I mean, there was so much there, from growing up in care. I was in the care system myself. That arc, that journey of transformation through pain, which ties beautifully into well-being and mental resilience. How do you see film as part of the sort of as a tool for healing and bringing us closer to the attention of topics like mental wellness?
I think really important, again, like film, music, paintings, any artistic expression, I think that lets you see yourself in some aspect of somebody else or their work or their story. You know how you're saying you recognize part of yourself in Leandre's story. Um, when you don't feel alone and you feel like somebody else can understand, or somebody else has a weird idea of, you know, what something looks like that's resonant to you, and somebody else shares that, it's very fortifying, I think. It's very good for the identity to feel a community in art. And I think that's really how it helps our mental health and our sense of selves, when we see things in other people, especially the harder things.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest movies are a combination of universality and specificity. So the universality of pain and loneliness and victory and joy, but with Skatecoat, but the specificity of Leandre going through that and his family going through that, when people in his community going through that. And so to be able to see either yourself in that specificity or to see yourself in the universality and to understand from the outside the specificity, that's where great movies come from. And this is a perfect example of that great. It's so specific.
Yeah.
It only could be about Leandre. It only could be about his life, and yet all of us can feel what it must have been, what it's like and what it must have been like for him.
And just to follow on from that, Brad, now as you both know, Scapegoat was a film that took over a decade to make and put together. Um,
Yeah.
at what stage did you both join the project, and what drew you both personally to the project?
Well, gosh, it must be 6 or 7 years ago
Has to be.
now.
No, maybe not.
6 was before COVID.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while. Um, and it all happened because my son was very into skateboarding and at the time. And we were lucky enough to meet this incredible guy in Los Angeles named Steve Barra, who is a skate legend himself, and he um, has a few businesses that come out of the skateboarding world. And we became friendly, and he said, there's this documentary that my friends are working on. I would love for you to take a look at it. And so Brad and I watched a very early cut, and we just kind of fell in love with Leandre and his story, and also Van's visuals that are so unique and cool. And we thought, oh, there's a real movie here. And so we came on and just Brad is so good at narrative. And I think at the time the film was really incredible, but it's kind of more abstract in its story in a way. And so we thought, if we can kind of use his narrative skills to kind of bring a real arc to this, maybe that would, be helpful. And so they asked us to join on, and we did.
Yeah, and also you touched on Van Alpert there, the director. And now, in many ways, obviously having seen the film myself, the film uses skateboarding as a metaphor for freedom,
Yeah.
risk, control. What was most important to you about supporting Van's vision? Obviously, you just kind of touched on that now, but maybe you could care to elaborate on what it was about Van that you saw.
Well, he's a real artist, and he is an incredibly feeling soul, and he knew exactly what he wanted to say with this movie. And so I was just trying to put some scaffolding around, give him some help with some scaffolding around what he was trying to say. I would never want to get in the way of that. And part of, you never want to get to work with somebody on something when they don't have a clarity about that. Because that's
Right.
without a vision, you just have a bunch of stuff, right? But if he has clarity, well then what I do is easy. My part is easy. It's just like, well, let's arc this story out. Let's make sure we have a beginning, middle, and end, and a clear narrative, and that all the stuff you want is shining through, and the stuff that doesn't fit into that, can be pulled out. And that's what any producer will do. We're not the visionary in there, and so. It was great, and Van is also just one of, I don't know if you've met, I spent time with him. He has a wonder about life and the world, and an excitement about life and the world, and a deep love for Leandre. And so it was a delight to be able to work with him on it and just do, again, just the really simple nuts and bolts stuff.
Now, you mentioned clarity a few times there. I don't know whether you were doing your homework in preparation for this interview, but my better half here has just written a book called Clarity, where she talks about her life experiences, not just in the care system, but as an award-winning film and TV director. Been far too modest, but I just thought I'd drop that in there.
Yeah, it just was ringing there. But no, that's amazing.
So we understand that the godfather to your children is a certain Steven Spielberg. Is that right, Gwen?
This is true. This is true.
How did that come about?
Well, my parents and Steven Spielberg have been great friends through two different avenues since the 70s, really, and then again in the 80s. So they were all friendly and out in Malibu in the 70s. And then he became a family friend. And then when he married a woman named Kate Capshaw, who's his wife, she was my dad's best friend. So that really kind of solidified the relationship, and we're all like family.
That's beautiful. Now, Scapegoat is up for Best Documentary at the BAFTA Awards. It's in competition with three others, and it was such a big category this year because of what you said at the top of our interview. So much is going on in the sciences, in the political world, in social landscape. So the three finalists, including Scapegoat, are really, really speaking to the soul of people, and universally, people are going through a lot right now. How does it make you feel to hear such great news today that it's up for Best Documentary?
Amazing.
We're so thrilled. It's been so many years of, sticking with it and getting it finished. And thank you so much for acknowledging the film. We're so proud. We're so proud of Leandre, so happy for him. And he's such a good guy. And we think it's a beautiful story of, triumph and redemption. And so thank you so much for selecting it.
Yeah, thank you. They're good. It's always exciting when good things happen to good people.
Yes, love that. Love
Definitely.
that. Absolutely.
And why do you think London audiences ultimately should show out for this film on the 22nd of October?
Well, I think it's a very riveting film, you know, from the minute it starts with Tyler, the creator's song, Igor's theme going over, you're just like, oh, I'm in a world. I'm in a world. And it just kind of like picks you up and grabs you. And for me anyway, you feel kind of on the edge of your seat the whole time. You feel the urgency of being a kid and kind of an abandoned kid in LA and with his brother and finding the skateboard as a means, as you were saying, to freedom and expression and risk and ultimately a career. The heartbreak of, I won't want to, spoil anything, but of, his brother not going in the same direction as a champion skateboarder. And I think it's just a really gripping documentary.
Yeah, and it's also it's the only thing they're ever going to see where you actually get to watch children grow up
Yeah,
in a movie.
Yes.
It's
totally.
not like we
Anything else?
cast a kid and then we cast an adult. You're
Right.
watching this young boy, and so what you see when Leandre and his community grow up, you can always still see the boy because you knew him. So you
Mhm.
still see the boy and the children in them. And so you have a particular compassion that no other movie that I have seen, I think Richard Linklater did one a little bit like it, but he had to do it in a completely different way to be able to do this. And also um, the way Van does it and the miracle of him just thinking, I'm just going to go shoot some stuff down in Venice and then running into these kids, these charming little kids, and then turning that into his life's work
Mm.
for the past however many years is it's just unique. There's no other opportunity. Just as a piece of filmmaking, if you're a film fan, it's worth seeing this because it's you can't replicate it.
And did it ever cross Van's mind or maybe your minds as producers, that whole adage of never working with animals or children? Did that ever kind of enter the discussion or did he just run with it and Leandro was
I
a
think
willing
when you run into somebody like Leandre and you can see that sparkle in his eyes and you get that you're dealing with somebody who is incredibly special, I always say the way to get success is to work with stars. And so he saw a star. He was right. And so no, it doesn't matter if it's a kid or if it's Lassie or if it's anything. If you see a star, run towards it. Put the camera on it always.
And on that note, I think we shall leave it. Gwyneth, Brad, it's been a real joy to have you along with us.
Thank
We
you.
can't wait to show Skategoat to London audiences and may the film have continued success all over the world. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Take
We
care.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Take
good
care.
afternoon.
Good
Bye.
luck.
Bye.
Bye.